Tiedza, Natalie, Takudzwa, you can hear me. Mfaro, Cristiano. So, let's start.
We can hear you.
Okay. So, in your syllabus, you have two types of sequences: arithmetic and geometric. Geometric and arithmetic. We'll start with this. So then we'll look at the exam questions later. So, arithmetic, if I've got a sequence in this arithmetic, it's when I am adding or subtracting a constant term throughout. A constant term. Clear? That's what we call arithmetic. When we add or when we subtract a constant term. So with arithmetic, we have the formula, but you don't have to use it. I'll show you just now, like this. Where A is the first term in an arithmetic sequence, first term. And D is the common difference. The common difference. Are we together? So let's say I have a term 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, 20. Okay? So if you look at this term, what are we adding all the term? The time plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Clear? So it means my D, which is my common difference, is what I'm adding all the time is 3. What is the first term? A. A is the first term, 2. So if you look at this formula, it means 2 plus n minus 1 multiplied by the common difference, which is 3. Let's remove the brackets together, is 2 plus 3n minus, like this. Then you can say 3n minus 3 plus 2, which gives you 3n minus 1. Now let me show you the easiest way is not even to do this. So once you master the method that I want to show you, you can use that in an exam. So because it's plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, it follows that it follows a 3n multiplication table. Everyone, it follows that it follows a 3n multiplication. Then what will be the number before the 3? What will be the number before the 3? You simply say 2 minus 3, yeah? It's minus 1. Done. That's the formula. Clear? Let's look at another one. Maybe it will make sense just now. If I have 10, 6, 2, so I'm saying 4, 4. If I subtract negative 2, if I subtract negative 6. Now, if you look at this here, you are subtracting 4. You are subtracting 4. There, you are again taking away what? 4. 2 minus 4. There, you are taking away what? 4. So it follows that it follows a minus 4n multiplication table. Then can someone tell me what's the number before 10? What will be the number before 10? Cheers, what will be the number before 10? Mfaro, what will be the number there? Before 10? You guys, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Is my audio working or what? Can you hear me? Natalie?
would be 14.
Simply 14. Because I have to take 4 to this. So it's simply plus 14. I'm done. That's the formula. Or you can write it as 4n minus 14 is just the same. That's how I find the formula. Where maybe it can become tricky is when I have something like this. 1 over 3, let me show you. Then maybe 3 over 5. Then now to add, sorry, add 3 there. Say 4 over 5 there. If I add 3, 7. Okay, sorry, I wanted to show you something different here. So if I have 1 over 5, and there I have 9 over 4, 3, 2, 3. So then I have 4, 18 over 8, 2, 5. Then the next thing, 8, 4, 17 over 8, 2, 7, like this. So these are fractions, like this. But now you deal with the numerator on its own to find the formula of the whole fraction. Let's deal with the numerator. The numerator is 1, 3, 5, 7. So we are increasing by 2, we are increasing by 2, we are increasing by 2. So it follows that is a 2n multiplication table. 2n multiplication table. But what will be the number before the 1? Before the first term, if I was to go in the other way, I subtract 1 minus 2. And I should get minus what? I'm saying 1 minus 2. It's minus 1, like this. So this is my formula for my numerator over my formula for my denominator. What am I adding? 4. 4. 4. So it's a 4n multiplication table. But what's the number before 5? I subtract 4, it's 1. So that's my formula. Clear? Sorry about that. So which means this is just the general formula. If I'm given 2n minus 5 and asked to find, for example, the first 4 terms of this sequence. So it's an arithmetic because of this. This is not a squared term. So what you simply do is, for example, when n is equal to 1, you're saying replacing n with 1 like this, minus 5. So it means your first term there from your calculator is minus 3, followed by when n is equal to 2, in your formula, 2 brackets multiplied by 2 minus 5. And that is 4 minus 5, which gives you minus what? Minus 1. Then the next one, you're simply saying when n is equal to 3, so you're saying 2 multiplied by 3 minus 5. And that gives you 6 minus 5 is what? Is 1. Then the next term, you're saying when n is equal to 4, so 2 brackets 4 minus 1. If you multiply, you get 8. If you subtract, you get 3. So those are the first 4 terms of this sequence. Sequence, the general formula, we can now use it to find any what? Any term. For example, if I go to a basic arithmetic function like this, like the ones that we're doing, if we have, for example, let's say we're 12, 17 plus 5, 22 plus 5, 27 plus 5, 32, like this. 5, 5, 5, 5. So this is my first term when n is equal to 1. Second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. So now for general formula for this whole sequence is 5n. But I ask myself, what's the number before this? So if I subtract 5 there, I get a plus 7. So this is the general formula. Let's test it. When n is equal to 5, we should, fifth term, we should get exactly this. 5 times 5 plus 7. It's exactly equal. When check in your calculator, 32. You can test it for n, which means if they say find the 200th term, you can't be in an exam writing all this. You work out the formula, then it means when n is equal to 200, so it simply means 5 multiplied by 200 plus 7. And that is 5 times 200 is that 1,000 plus 7. So it means the 200th term is simply 1,007. That's all you do. You find the general formula so that you can find any term in that sequence. Is that clear now? Clear? Let's do some basic questions on this. Let's do some basic, very basic questions. This is the quadratic. This first part is easy. Okay. Okay. Quickly. So it's Nova. Let me just grab something. Quadratic sequences. There. Think so? That's not what I'm looking for. I just want the very basic sequences. Did I save them? Oh, what am I doing? You guys, can you hear me? Very quiet. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because the way you are very quiet is as if you are not understanding what's going on. I just want to look at the very basic linear sequences. So we call these ones linear sequences. Okay, just hold on. I had not saved it. I thought I saved it. The other one is quadratic. We'll look at that later. During the and Chiesa, is your audio working? You're also very quiet. Chiesa, your audio, is it working? Oh. Is your audio working or something? Chiesa, can you hear us? Oh. Yeah. You're in trouble. Natalie, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
What's happening with Chiesa now? If she's quiet, I don't know if she's understanding or what. Because I want to make sure that everyone we are on the same page here. We can't reach out to her. I'm not sure what's happening with their phones or what. So I just want to show you the very basic sequences. Then we do them together. Then I'll show you the quadratic, and I'll show you that they are not difficult as well. Yeah, they might look challenging, but not very difficult. That's all done now. Is anyone writing in June? Oh, yeah, all writing in November. Are you all writing in November, or some of you are writing? That Natalie was talking about June. It was the other girl. You're writing in November. That's good. Yeah, I found the paper that I wanted. Okay, let's just look at this paper quickly. And so we have time. We are writing to November. It's still far. Okay. Oh, why did I save this paper? I don't understand what's happening. 65. Yeah, apologies. Software active fun. Okay, finalize it. Okay. There. Find the nth term. So what's the nth term for that? You can tell me what you do. 2 marks for free. Find the first 5 terms of an arithmetic. Find an expression for the nth term. So what's the expression for the nth term there?
So
What
I
do you
can't
do?
see the
So I
screen.
can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen. What happened to my screen? Shades, I can hear you, but we can't hear you. Okay, hold on.
Sir, I can't see your screen. I'm sorry, I'm very confused with what we're doing.
What's confusing?
Yeah, I can't see your screen, sir. Now I can see
Yeah,
it.
you never put on your screen.
No, the screen was there when I started. The screen was not
No,
there.
no, we couldn't see it. I don't know why, but like all we saw was your picture.
Oh, is that true, Mufaro? You're not seeing what I was doing.
Yes, sir.
And you're quiet.
I could see it.
I don't know. Anyway, now this is arithmetic. So it means it's either you are adding or subtracting the same term. Let's check what's the difference between 6 and 11? Evra, now 6. What's the difference?
5.
5.
5,
What's the difference here? 5. What's the
5.
difference? 5. 5. So it means it's a 5n. It follows 5n multiplication table. Then what's the number before 6? That's what I said. You subtract 6 minus 5.
1.
So it's a plus 1 like this. Test it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 50th term here. So 5 multiplied by 5 plus 1 is exactly 26. You can test for any third term. 5 times 3, 15 plus 1, 16. Clear. You can use it to calculate any, even the 200th term. That's what I was saying. You can calculate. If I say find the 300th term of this sequence, you are using the formula now. It's 5 multiplied by 300 plus 1. Clear. Now let's go to the next one there. Here, the first
Sir,
5.
come again. Sir, please come again.
Once you get the formula, this is your
Yes.
formula for this sequence. You can find any number in this sequence. But this is the first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. If they say find the 300th term, I'm simply using this formula because it's when n is equal to 300. So that's why I'm saying 5 times 300 plus 1. I'm using this formula here. I use this formula to find any term. That's why it's called the formula for the nth term. Let's do the second one to make sense just now. Here are the first 5 terms. Write down the next what? 2 terms. What are the next 2 terms? Observe, then tell me what's that. You said 20? 28.
Yes.
And 33.
33.
28 and 33. They are saying, explain how did you get your answer? You discover that the difference between consecutive terms is what? Is plus 5. So all you're doing is you're adding 5. Huh? Clear? Then look at this here. Explain why 385 is not a what? Is not a term of this sequence. Do you know what you do? You find the formula of this sequence. So let's go and find the formula of this sequence here. So it's a plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. We are adding 5. So it's 5n multiplication table. Then what's the number before 3? That's what I said. What's the number before 3, before the first term? If you go in the other way, what's the number?
-2.
Yes, it's simply 3 minus 5. It's minus 2. So do you know what it means here? It means if I do 5n minus 2 is equal to 387, I should get a whole number. I can't get a fraction of a term. Huh? So let's move the 3 to the other side. It's 5n is equal to 389. And you can tell that this is a decimal. So it means this is not a term in that sequence. Clear? Let's do the next one. Write down the next 2 terms. Give me the next 2 terms of that sequence. Then I want you to give me the formula. Takudzwa, you are now getting it. What's the next 2 terms of the sequence? 2 terms. Natalie? Yes?
106 and 102.
102, correct. Now the formula, ignore this one for now. It's easy. Can someone give me the correct formula? You have to be careful now. Maybe we'll do this together. But what's happening here? I'm subtracting what?
9.
I'm subtracting 4. Huh? What's happening there? I'm subtracting. I'm not adding. Huh? I'm subtracting 4. I'm subtracting 4. So it follows that is a minus 4 in multiplication table. Then what's the number before 126?
130.
130. That's how easy this is. Plus 130. Done. You test it. Let's test it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th term. Let's test it. So minus 4, use your calculator, multiply by 4 plus 130. Should exactly get this answer there. Test in your calculator. Are we together there? Because n is simply your position.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can find any term using this formula. If I say find the 500th term, because I now have the formula, I'll simply say minus 4 multiplied by 500 plus 130. I'm using this formula there. Clear? To find that term. That's why it's an important term there. The 20th term of a number sequence is 50. Write down the 21st term. This is a continuation. Oh, it's a continuation of this one. Huh? Anyway, simply subtract 4. Anyway, we won't talk about this because we are deducting 4. It's easy. Now let's go to this one. Find the 8th term of this sequence. How many terms are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do this the long way, but the easiest way, okay, it's up to you. You can add anyway until you are at the 8th term, or you can find this formula here. Clear? If we go to this formula here, we can go back and find the 8th term. Let's do that. What is the difference there, Takuzwa? Plus 4. Huh? What is the difference? Plus 4. Difference plus 4. Difference plus 4. So it's a 4n multiplication table. Then what's the number before that?
minus 1.
3 minus 4 minus 1. So now let's go and find the 8th term. It's 4 multiplied by what is our term? 8th
8.
term minus 1. That should give you 31. 4 times 8, 32. Clear? Make sense?
Yes, sir.
I didn't understand. Sir, I didn't understand.
What didn't you understand? What didn't you understand?
8 term first.
Takuzwa. Why are you complicating life? If I have a formula like this, I can find any term. 4n minus 1 is my general formula for this term here. Follow me. I think you now understand how we find the formula. This is 4n minus 1. Let's go back. Even before we talk about the 8th term here. Let's wrap this. This is the formula. Are we agreeing? Do you now understand how we find the formula? Let's go back. Do you understand how we got the formula? Takuzwa, do you understand how we got the formula? I can't hear you now. Do you understand how we got
Yes.
the formula? So if we get the formula, Takuzwa, if you understand how do we get the formula, you can use it to find any term. This is my first term here. It's when n is equal to 1, because this is my first term here. If I go back to this, I'm saying 4 multiplied by, what is my number, what is my term is my first term minus 1. I'm simply using this formula. I get exactly 3. If I go to the second term, it's when n is equal to 2. So it's 4 multiplied by 2 minus 1. 4 times 2 is 8 minus 1, 7. If I go to the term, third term, it's when n is equal to 3.
Wait,
4 times
wait.
3 minus 1. What's your question? Yes.
That's 2 inside the kid. Where did it come from?
What?
2 inside the bracket. Where did it come from?
Yeah. I don't know what exactly. Maybe you're not paying attention or what. 4n. What does 4n mean? 4 means 4 times n minus 1. So even from computer science, n is a variable. It can take any number. N is my position of this is when n is equal to 1, when n is equal to 2, when n is equal to 3, when n is equal to 4, because this is my first term, this is my second term, this is my third term, this is my fourth term, this is my fifth term. So if I want to verify if the formula is correct, this is second term, is when n is equal to 2. That's why I'm saying 4 times 2 minus 1. And I get this. I test when the fourth term, it's when n is equal to 4, because that's the position. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's when n is equal to 4. So that's why I'm saying 4 times 4, 16 minus 1, 15. So it's a correct formula. Now let's go to the next one. This is, what's the difference there? 7. Difference, 7. Difference, 7. Difference, 7. So what's the formula? 7n, everyone should be following. And what's the term before 2? That's what he said. I showed you the shortcut. What's the term before 2?
Minus 5.
Minus 5.
Minus 5. So that's my formula here. Then what I'm saying, Takuzwa, is I can now find any, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the fifth term when n is equal to 5. So I say 5 times 5, my 7 times 5, sorry, minus 5. I get exactly this. So now if they now say find the 128 term, you can't be in an exam trying to add 7 until you use you have to be smart, you use this formula. So the 128th term means when n is equal to 128. So I go to this formula here and say 7 multiplied by 128. Well, that's my value for n minus 5. Clear? So that formula, you can use it to find any term in your sequence. We are talking of arithmetic, adding or subtracting the constant term throughout. Now, can you get the formula here without the teacher? 30 seconds. Let's get that formula.
I found it, sir.
Faroya, very quiet. Are you there today? And the girls are quiet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what's your formula, Mfaro? For number 6. They had not found it yet. Or you are also not understanding. So that we explain again.
So I found the formula.
5
Okay,
n
I'm waiting
minus
for the rest of the guys. Is that what you got? He's saying 5n minus 3. Do you agree with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mfaro, you agree with him?
Yes.
5. So 5n minus 3. That's the general formula. The nth term. There. So for practice sake, done? Not yet. Or not yet done. Are we done? The guys? Cristiano,
Yes, I'm done.
what's your formula?
4n minus 5.
4n minus 5, let's see. 4, correct. Then I subtract this minus 1 minus 4, correct, minus 5. Now look at this part here. These are the trick parts now. In another arithmetic sequence, the nth term is this. Then John says that there is a number in both sequences. Do you know what it means? It means when there is a number for both sequences, it means these two sequences are equal. So it means if I try to solve 4n minus 5 is equal to 8n, if he was correct, I would get n as a whole number. Clear? If he is correct. If I get as a fraction, is wrong. Because I can't have a fraction as a number of a term. Clear? So let's try to solve it and prove that is wrong. So maths, you group like terms. So 4n minus 8n is equal to minus 16 plus 5. This is a negative, it comes that way. So negative 4n is equal to, if you solve there, it's minus 11. If you now divide, you get 11 over 4. So it's wrong because we can't have a number of 10 as a fraction. Clear? Because it's first term, second term, I can't have a fraction. So G is wrong. Are we together? Clear?
So
Now I'll skip this. Look at this. The nth term of a sequence is 2n squared, like what I said. Find the fourth term. It means when n is equal to 4. So let's go to our formula. 2 brackets 4 squared. That's all. 2 brackets 4 squared. And what do you get? Should get 32 in your calculator. Is the fourth term.
Yeah.
Clear? N squared, n, whatever n is, we square that, times 2. Now is 400 a term of this sequence? It means 2n squared is equal to 400. We should get a whole number. Let's try that. Divide by 2, n squared is equal to 200. Find the square root of 200. You know that it's not a whole number if you're good in maths or you use your calculator. So he's wrong because the n is not a whole number. Clear? We see how we answer this type of the tricky part. Yes, your question? Oh yeah, agreeing. Now let's do this, then we do the B part. Find the, in 30 seconds or 20 seconds, you should find the formula then of the nth term. Then we will look at the quadratics just now. Quadratic sequences. That's the end game to this topic. Quadratic sequences. After this, these are linear sequences, the easiest or the more nice ones. Everyone is there. 47. Cheers are done. Cheers, do you sometimes mute your speakers or something? Natalie, done? The girls have been
Yes,
quiet.
sir.
What's your formula?
6n minus 3.
6n, correct, minus 3. I can test it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 times 5, 30, 27, correct. 4. 6 times 4, 24, minus 1, minus 3, 21, correct. Now, what we do is 150. Ben says 150 is in this sequence. I said you do n, 3n minus that is equal to 150. That's what we said. Move the 3 the other side. 6n is equal to 153. Divide both sides by 6. What's 153 divided by 6 from your calculator? Punch in your calculator, what do you get?
35.5.
35.5. So it's a wrong answer. We can't have 35.5 term. Huh? Clear. It's not the whole number. Wrong. Clear. Now let's look at quadratic sequences. I want you to pay closer attention to this. I'll show you this. I think there is no simple method than the one that I'm not sure what you are taught at your school, but there can be many confusing formulas, especially on this part. There's many formulas to find it, but I'm just saying I want to show you the more easier method. I was teaching a method for 2 years, but most like only 20%, 30% of the students would get it. Until I found a formula last year that I thought helped many students. Now, so yeah, we are taught. Sometimes we are not taught that it's a quadratic. I'll show you how you know that it's a quadratic sequence. So 3, 7, 18, 21. Let's do what we have been doing. What's the difference here, everyone? 2 plus 2. Huh? What's the difference here?
4.
4. What's the difference here? 6.
6.
What's the difference? 8.
8.
So it's not arithmetic because it's not constant. Huh? We go to this, so this is the first difference. We go to the second difference. What's the second difference? 2. What's the second difference? 2.
2.
What's the second difference? 2. When this happens, it means it's a quadratic sequence. And the quadratic sequence in the form of your quadratic formula, an squared plus bn plus c. Follow me? It follows that formula, an squared. So the challenge is we have to find what the b is, what a is, and what c is. The a part, Takuzwa, Krishano, we always divide the second difference here. We always divide it by 2. If it was 6, we divide it by 2. Whatever the second difference is. That's how we find a. So a is what? 1. Found a straight away.
Sir,
Yes.
sir,
Question?
you come again.
I said the a part. We always divide the term in the second difference that is constant. If I had found that this was 10, 10, 10, I would divide that by 2. I always divide this by 2. That's what I said. So because it's a 2 there, I said 2 divided by 2, and it's 1. So in maths, there's no need to write 1n squared plus bn plus c. We simply write n squared plus bn plus c. Because n is equal to 1, doesn't change anything. Clear? So we are done with this first part here. Follow me? Anyway, we are recording this. Now, when we are done with the first part, everyone, I want to show you the easy method now. When we are done with the first part, we take away the first part from our sequence. So I want you to follow me there. We take away the n squared, is what I want to take away. N squared, follow me. So first term is when n is equal to 1. What is 1 squared? I'm using this formula. What is 1 squared? It's 1. What is 2 squared? 4. I'm just using this. What is 3 squared? 9. What is 4 squared? 16. What is 5 squared? 25. Then we subtract. Because we want to take away this part so that we find what is bn plus c. Now let's subtract. Isn't this 0? Subtract that, what do you get? Minus 1.
Sir,
Subtract that, yes. Follow me.
why are we?
Follow me.
Sir.
Don't ask questions. Or don't ask questions why we are doing this. It's a method. I'm showing you an easy method. Otherwise, I would show you a what? So maybe you should not be asking why are we subtracting. I'm showing that's a method that is actually, that's the easiest method. So if you could follow, you could do 3 or 4, see you get it, how we are doing it. And you should always do that because it's the quickest way to find what? To find the formula. Are we together? So what I'm simply, I have found the n squared. I want to find b, I want to find c. That's why I'm subtracting the n squared in this sequence here. That's why I said n. I'm saying when n is equal to 1, that's why I said 1 squared. When n is equal to 2, so it's 2 squared. I got this. 3 squared. So I'm simply subtracting. And you should be subtracting from a calculator. If you subtract here, it's minus 2. If you subtract there, it's negative 3. If we subtract there, you get negative what? Negative 4. Now look at this. We are decreasing by negative 1. 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 So it means it's a minus n multiplication table. Then I ask myself, what's before 0 is 1. Because look at this, if I subtract, I go to this. So it's a plus n here. I'm done with the whole formula. It's simply n squared, sorry, n squared minus n plus 1 is my formula for this. Okay, I know it's the first one. Most of you,
Sir,
yes. Okay,
I just have one question, sir.
yes.
Under that 137, 13, and 21, there is 149 and 16. I wanted to ask how we get those numbers.
We are simply using the positions. Positions, follow me. Positions. We are using what? Position. I want you to follow me. We are using positions of what? I am saying when n is equal to 1, then I'm going into this. It means 1 squared. When n is equal to 2, position 2, but this is position 2. I use this. So it's 2 squared. That's why I'm getting the 4 from. But I'm saying follow the next one, you'll get it. Slowly you get it. Let's do this. Now I know maybe most of you didn't get it, but I'm saying we do 3 or 4, you are going to get how we do this. Follow 4. Let's follow. These are quadratic sequences. Huh? So let's follow. So what's the first thing, everyone? Cristiano, what did you say we do? Do you remember? Or Mufaro? Or the girls? You always check what's the difference. Huh? So what's the difference there? Takuzo, what's the difference? We are adding what to 2 here. Use your calculator.
13.
You don't even have to use your head. Yes, 13. There you can subtract using a calculator. You don't have to use your head. It's a calculator. There. What do you get? Someone quick there. You can use your calculator. Don't use your head. Mfaro. What do you get? Isn't that 19? Oh, I'm wrong. It's not 19.
19.
Oh, it's 19. Oh, I'm correct. I was using my mental. There. What do you get? Use your calculators, guys.
25.
25. So this is our first difference. You are following Takuzo, first difference. Now let's go to second difference. Why? Because first difference is not constant. What do you get there? 6.
6.
What do you get there? 6. So it follows Takuzo that it's an an squared plus bn plus c sequence. A, how do you find A now? I want to see who was listening. How do you find A? Mufaro, how do you find A? The girls, how do you find A?
You divide from
Yes.
the
You divide
term
what
in the
with what?
second.
Yes, the second term here, which is constant, is 6 divided by 2. She was listening. That's 3. So now it means if we put 3 there, it's now 3n squared plus bn plus c. Clear? Making sense? Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm going to do this for the case of so that I can answer. Maybe he wants me to do things in a long way. So I'm going to say position. Position here. I'm going to do a table so that I can answer to Takuzo the position n. Okay. So I'm saying position 1, position 2, position 3, so that I can help him, position 4. Then the term. What's the first term here? 2. What's the second term?
15.
15. What's the third term? 34.
34.
What's the fourth term?
59.
Remember, it's n is standing for these positions here. Then I'm going to subtract what? 3n squared. Can you see that in front of it? We need to subtract 3n squared. Now let's find the 3n squared. It means when n is equal to 1 there, I'm simply saying in my calculator 3, 1 squared. What do you get? 3 times 1 squared, simply 3, yeah? Like this. Then we go to the second term, it's when n is equal to 2. So I'm saying 3 brackets 2 squared. That's what it means, n squared, yeah. 3 brackets 2 squared. What do you get? Calculators, use your calculators.
12.
12. Now let's do
Four.
when n is equal to 3, I'm subtracting this. So I'm saying 3 brackets 3 squared. What do you get? Get
27.
Then the next one, when n is equal to 4, 3 brackets 4 squared,
48.
48. Then let's subtract. So what's this? Negative 1. Huh? Subtract there, what do you get? 3. Subtract this, 7. Subtract someone there, 11.
11.
Now what is the difference here if you add 4? 4, 4. So it's a 4n, because this is arithmetic, what we're doing. 4n multiplication table. What's the number before negative 1? We take away what? We say minus 1 minus 4, which is minus what? Minus 5. So we are done with this part here. Then we simply now put the whole equation is 3n squared plus 4n minus 5. Cheers. Making sense? Takus was making sense now.
Yes, sir. It's not many things.
Okay, it's not difficult, eh?
Yeah.
Are we together?
It's just hard to keep in mind.
Okay, it's your first time, it's fine. Are we together then? Then this, I'll ignore that. Okay, let me just look for a few of them. They just all do quadratic. Cheza, are you there? Are you understanding? You've been very quiet. Cheza, is he there? Oh, we have lost it. Cheza, are you there? Oh, we have lost you. So I just want to show you a few. Then there are certain things that I need to mention that can help you in terms of maths. So I just want to look at a few. Sorry guys, I opened the wrong thing here. Quadratic sequences. Let's see. I'll do a few more. Okay, I think I have what I want. Now, then I'll give you one to try. After we've done this one, I will do 2. Then I'll give you one to try. Maths, you follow. Mathematics. These are nice papers with nice questions. Now, everyone, let's do the first one together there. This is a very tricky one. Huh? Anyway, it's not difficult. Huh?
Sir, I can't see your board.
You can't see my board again. Yeah, you should tell me straight away. I think it's because when I try to take a paper, I have to share again. Can you see it now? Seems as if we
Yes,
lost.
sir.
Who did we lose here? Mufaro. Is that Christian? We lost Christian. Now, how do you find the next two terms of a quadratic? Let's see what's happening. What's the difference here? Use the calculator if it's not your head, if you're not good at that. 4. Huh?
4.
What's the next term here? What's the difference here?
6.
6. What's the difference here? 8. Huh?
8.
So if you look at this, it means the next difference here, I should add what? 10. Huh? Can you see that? I should add 10 to this, and I'm at 30 what? 7. Then the next difference, I should add 12 to this. and I'm at 49. Can you see that? Are we agreeing?
Yes.
Okay. Without a formula. I thought they were asking about formulas. You see, sometimes you can be given something like this. Work out the 10th term. So it means when n is equal to 10. So let's use our calculator. 2 multiplied by 10 squared plus 4 multiplied by 10 minus 1. What do you get? That's the 10th term of that quadratic sequence. What do we get? 200, 240 minus 1,
239.
239. Clear? This worksheet is easy. Yeah, maybe this one. Write down, so the nth term. So what's the difference here? Difference, Mparo? 6. Difference there?
8.
Difference there?
10.
Then the difference there? 2.
2.
Difference? 2.
2.
So it's an squared plus bn plus c. Our a, now this difference, 2 divided by 2, it's 1. So it means our formula is n squared. There's no need to write 1n squared, simply the same, plus bn plus c. Now I can do what I did there. I said position, a small table, the n position. Then I'm saying my 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, first position, second position, third position, fourth position. Then the actual term, first term 5, 11, 19, 29. Then I want to take away, I want to remove the n squared so that I find the arithmetic. So I do n squared like this. Then I'm using this. When n is equal to 1, what is 1 squared? 1. When n is equal to 2, what is 2 squared? 4. When n is equal to 3, 3 squared? 9. When n is equal to 4, 4 squared? 16.
16.
Let's subtract. What do you get there? 4.
4.
Get there? 7.
7.
What do you get there? 10.
10.
What do you get there? Mfaro? 13. Huh? What's the difference here? 3.
3.
3. 3. So everyone now knows 3n multiplication table. Then I think of the number before 4, which is 1. Huh?
1.
So 3n plus 1. Done. So the whole formula there, because I have n squared, I have found this. So it's simply n squared plus 3n plus 1. Mfaro, clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you work out this without the teacher? I think I'll give you 4 minutes. Let's work that out. The nth term. apologize. I would have wanted to statement. I would have. Ah, but I can't ask for apologies. I can't go. I was thinking I'm doing it, but I can't. Got to vary. So very much. Pane paitoita fane mari ndakatomboimploya nakonzani namwe 3 or 4 wachitopiwa mbuya $50 pazuva nakonzani anga asikaiti tsotsi aizvo mari inozoita here wakuita zvemusikazone besides handiti utsotsi hwakatanga before lockdown. Vanotanga here pakatanga zvimadzimai matawaizvo zvaiti panafadha inge pakatanga nyaya dzeseti kozeka seve sinonga kufamba mari uku uchida kuti futi presha yekumba what plus izvo zvinotounzwa futi I think munyama kubusiness rako zvinotovhara madhoo kubusiness unongoita 10 minutes or 15 minutes but check up pamusoro yaisorasika. Hi guys, are you done? Done. Oh, not yet. Are you done, guys? Very quiet. You guys are there? Sheza, Natalie, Mufaro, Takuzo. Why are you very quiet? What's your formula?
Formula.
Yes, are you still working out?
I'm done.
Yeah, what's your formula?
N squared.
N squared, yes. Plus or minus, I'm waiting for the other part.
Plus.
I think your volume was. I only heard. I think maybe it's your network. Yes, plus what? Natalie, what's your formula?
-6.
No, I didn't get the middle term. I only got N squared.
Didn't get the what?
The middle term here. I only hear the -6 at the end. What's the middle term here?
You didn't get the what?
You simply said N squared plus what? You said plus something.
N squared.
I
said N squared minus 6 n to the power 2.
No. 6n to the power of 2. It's not possible. How can you have 2n squared? That's not correct. I'm not sure why you're confusing this. Mufaro, what's your formula? Maybe the n squared is correct. Mufaro, what's your formula? Siedza, Natalie. Formula? Natalie, what's your formula? What's your formula? Did you not find the formula, Mufaro? Eight, 12. That's correct. Sorry, 8, 12. I don't have a calculator. That's 16, yeah? Look like 16, yeah? What's the difference here? So even on the n squared, you're not correct, huh? And what's his name? Tacos was it? This is 4. This is 4. This is 4. So you should have 2n squared, not n squared. Huh? But this is 4 here. So it means a is equal to 4 divided by 2 is 2. So from our formula here of n squared, it can't be just n squared, but this is 4 divided by 2. So this means it's 2n squared plus bn plus c. So we need to find this. So it's not an n squared, it's a 2n squared. Why? Because the second difference that is same is 4. I divide that by 2. I replace that value there is 2n squared. So now if I do the same thing that I've been doing position n here, I only have 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Then the term or terms 2, 10, 22, 38. Don't do anything to this. This is simply n. Then what do I want to take away? 2n squared. 2n squared. So I'm simply saying when n is equal to 1, 2 multiplied by 1 squared, which is simply 2. When n is equal to 2 is 2 brackets 2 squared. That's what it means. And that should give you 8. When n is equal to 3 is 2 brackets 3 squared. 3 squared is 9 times 2, 18. When n is equal to 4, 2 brackets 4 squared. 4 squared is what? Is 16 times 2, 32. Let's subtract. 0, 2, 4, 6. Difference 2, 2,